everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Kathy at Attic Treasures Etc. and welcome to part 6 of the Boxes, Bags, and Book Pages series. And I think this is going to be the last one in the series, because what I want to do today is actually put the signatures together with the signature covers and then sew them into the journal cover. But before I do that, I wanted to share with you some of the free things and some of the inexpensive things that I have found and have used in this project. One of them is paint chips. So you can go to your local hardware store or paint store and pick up, a bunch of different paint chips, and they're all totally free. And they can be used as pockets or clusters, anything you want, anything that you feel that you can use in a journal. Journal cards or tags or whatever. These I thought were super cute because they're already sort of in a tag shape. And on this one I started to make a tag, and then, believe it or not, I got distracted and forgot to finish it. But anyhow, so we'll be using some of those today. Also for free, you can get seed catalogs. You can write to them or call them to get on their mailing list. This one is Dutch Gardens, but there are several more different ones that you can just Google seed catalogs, and they have lots of beautiful photographs in them, and we'll be using some of these on the pockets. Then another thing that you can get at the dollar store sometimes. Now these two did not come from the dollar store. These actually came from garage sales, but I have seen similar ones at the dollar store. And these are just, the adult style coloring pages where you can sometimes ink these up or whatever and put them in a journal for some extra interest. And we've got some of that. Then also wallpaper. I'm using a little bit of this border that I got at a thrift store because I thought it was really pretty and kind of went with the theme. But wallpaper books, the sample books, are something else that you can get for free at hardware stores that sell wallpaper, or places like Sherwin-Williams paint stores and stuff like that. If they have expired wallpaper books, they will give them to you generally. And I have done that several times, and I have quite a collection of expired wallpaper books, so check that out for sure. Okay, and then another thing that I've picked up, this is something that I actually picked up at an antique store, and it's the only thing I'm going to use in this journal that I did that with. It's an old like an address book. It's got tabs on it for different addresses, or different letters of the alphabet. So this was used as an address book by a woman in the 1930s. This one shows August 19th, 1935. And she used this to document the different wedding showers that she had. Obviously she was from California. Most of the addresses are in here are California addresses. She had 6 wedding showers. She had a crystal shower, a stocking shower. Let me see, where was the third one? Oh, kitchen shower. Oh, so crystal, stocking, kitchen. And then over here she had a miscellaneous shower. Then there was a luncheon where she got gifts, and then a personal shower. So I just love the paper in here. I love her handwriting. I just think it's really pretty. So I made use of some of this inside these signatures as well. And then finally, well, not finally, almost finally, I have seen these typing books, these old typing books, in thrift stores everywhere. So this one I have, and I've had it for quite a while, and I love to take pages out of it because they're old and yellowed, and sometimes they have a little bit of staining on them. So they add some nice interest to a journal as well. And then also at a thrift store, my husband found this Dymo labeler. So we actually found another one prior to this one, just like a week before this one, for the same price. It was $1 at the thrift store, but it didn't work as well. So this one is kind of my go-to labeler now, and it's kind of fun to make labels and use these in journals. So why don't we go ahead and get started? One of the things that I did was to take the paint chips and kind of decide what I wanted to put on each one. So on this one, I just took out some of I took a picture from that seed catalog and kind of fussy cut it. And then from the address book, cut out some of that. And then I'm just going to layer it on here. But first I'm going to go ahead and trim the name off, and make sure that it's going to fit. Because what I want to do is put it on the inside of this piece of wallpaper border as a pocket. So yeah, that'll be fine. That'll go just fine right there. So I'm going to just start layering this on. I'm using Fabri-Tac to do this just because it's not going to warp the paper and because I have it right handy. And we've used Mod Podge on pretty much everything else, but I just thought I would go ahead and use the Fabri-Tac. And I have seen Fabri-Tac, or not Fabri-Tac, but just fabric adhesive at the Dollar Tree. So you might check that out. Obviously they come in smaller bottles, but it's a great way to get started. I hope everybody's doing okay. We went for one of our walks yesterday, because we couldn't go the day before because we had a windstorm and, rain, and which we hadn't had for quite a while, so we really needed it. But it was so windy that we lost internet for a few hours. And I didn't realize that I had lost internet. So I tried to respond to an email and didn't realize that the internet was out. So, Lisa, if that was for you, I hope you ended up getting my email eventually. And then I'm just gonna, put this on here. So I'm gonna trim this pocket to go along the edge there. And put the butterfly on. So anyway, so we went on the walk. And there were quite a few trees down in our little spot that we like to go, Barnum Point. We like to go there because we know we can get our required number of steps for our $10 each month, because $10 is $10. And we need 7,500 steps 10 times during the month. So, and we haven't had any trouble doing that, especially on that particular trail. This is just a stamp that I have. I'm just gonna layer that on as well. And then I just stamped out with my little Dymo labeler the word inspire. This has an adhesive on the back. There we go. And I am just gonna put it right here and trim this off. Before I ink the edges, I think I will round the corners and then put in a thumb hole. So I'm going to use the 1/4 inch radius on this Crop-A-Dile corner chomper, which is one of the better investments I've made for crafting. And then this is just a little 1-inch circle punch. So I'm just going to mark the center with a pencil. So the Fussy Cut images came from field guides and books that I picked up at garage sales and thrift stores and stuff like that. So now I'm just going to glue it in on the back of this wallpaper border, and that'll make a nice little pocket. I actually started to make this video yesterday and quickly realized that I was extremely disorganized. So I scrapped it and started it over today. Okay, so that's that. And then I also have some other little embellishments that I want to include inside. So I've got some coffee dyed paper on which I laid a plastic placemat, kind of a doily sort of plastic placemat, and then poured the coffee through it. And I got the placemat, of course, at a thrift store. And then some of them I laid these paper doilies on, which I got at the dollar store. And then here's the typing book page and the coloring page, and then a page out of that that little address book, another copy page, or copy dyed page. Actually, I think this one was dyed with beet juice and food coloring. And then I included a page from the Edith Holden book, The Diary of the Country Lady, in here. But I want to put some embellishments in here, and I made a couple of little clusters from the scrap that I had. So I have a stamp here. This is some of the Edith Holden scrap of her text, and music page and dictionary page, and a little bit of the paper bag. So I have here some lace that's just been sort of hanging around, and I thought I would go ahead and attach that as well, and then just use this as a little embellishment for the page. So I just stapled this one, and then I glued some of the looser edges down, and I have one that's ready to make, so we'll do that together. So I'm just going to put the glue on here and then place it over the lace, and then just glue right through the lace. So just a nice little page topper, or just a little embellishment. And then I've got this little mushroom that I cut out of a field guide, and I just thought it would go nice right there. And then a piece of that Shindy fabric from that rug, and it was just sort of hanging around. At some point I decided to tie it, but I don't remember when I did that. But I'm just going to glue it in because I like the color, and it needed a home, so I got one right there. Okay, I'm going to call this one done for now. We can work on the next one. That's this one, and I have another one of these paint chips, some more of the seed catalog. So I'm just going to attach that right there, and from the journal, her address book. It was quite silent in the forest yesterday. Didn't hear really any birds. The beaver wasn't out at the pond. It just seemed all very muffled. And then I stamped out the word explore on this one. I think I'll put it down there. Okay, and this one, I think I'll put the cluster embellishment up here. So I've got some more lace, another little cluster. I've got a stamp on it, and some of this fabric that I wanted to put like that. Okay, so first I'm going to glue this down. Okay, so that's done for a moment until we finish off this part. And then this is the last pocket I want to make for the wallpaper border. And again, we have a paint chip with some of the handwriting from that journal. Wish I knew her name. Be fun to make up a story. She got lots of beautiful gifts. So this little phrase from a songbook, I don't know if you can see it. It says, "Where are you?" This has been kicking around in my stash, waiting for a home for a long time. And it's going to get a home today. I ran across it when I was getting organized yesterday, and I thought it was so cute. Where are you? And then the word that I stamped out with the Dymo labeler is wonder. Because I wonder, where are you? I don't know why this just reminded me of it, but years ago in my quality engineering days, I was in a staff meeting and my mind had been wandering quite a bit. And all of a sudden I sort of came to and realized that everybody in the room around the table was staring at me like I needed to answer some sort of a question. And I was like, I think I just went to the beach for a minute. Can you please repeat the question? What is it that you want from me? I don't know. Has that ever happened to anybody? It's kind of embarrassing. So I'm not always this methodical with my journals, but I just am with this one because I just wanted to keep it as simple as possible. Everybody has their own style, and I actually have many styles. From steampunk to motorcycles to Doctor Who, shabby chic. My next project, which I'll be sharing with all of you, is to work on the journal for the pianola roll cover that I made a while back. So that'll be the second one that I've made with a pianola roll. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. I made the cover quite a while back, so I'm looking forward to filling it. I'll be using some of the wallpaper, I think anyway, unless my plans drastically change. I like to use the wallpaper samples that I have as signature covers. Oh, I like that. I really like that. Okay, I started to put a little cluster up here because I just love her handwriting. And I've got this scrap of fabric, so I might as well put it to use. Just something easy. When I took the pages out of this little address book or journal or whatever you want to call it, one of the pages had her handwriting on it. And I didn't want to just waste it. I wanted to be able to use it. Okay, that's already grabbed. So I'm just glue across the top here and attach this very scrappy piece of fabric. Oh, I like that. Okay, so we're going to set this one and the doily back inside here and put this cluster together that I got started because I kind of wanted to show you how I did it. It's not hard at all, and you can put them together any way you want. So I have this little flower here. The little blue part I got at a garage sale. Maybe I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. And then the purple one, I have a die that makes flowers, and I just cut it out of some old scrapbook paper, and I have a video on that, so I'll link that at the end. Okay, so what I thought I would do is just kind of line these up. We'll put that over there for now. And I kind of wanted to weave this little dictionary part in. So the first thing I'm going to do is attach this guy. And I'm just using some paper bag as a base. And again, I just had some dictionary page left over from the collaging. Okay, so we'll put that there. And then some of this beautiful handwriting. Give her a name. What should I call her? Leave me a message in the comments. Leave me a note. What should I call? What name should I give the beautiful lady with the awesome bridal showers? From 1935. It needs to be a name from 1935. This is from Edith Holden. I just wanted to add this little flower that I put together with the brad. I just put a brad through it like that. And I'm just going to glue it down. Alright, so for some strange reason my phone decided to shut off in the middle of filming, but I don't think you missed much. I think all you really missed was the fussy cut images that I put here. So I'm ready to sew the signatures in now. And to do that, I'm going to paper clip them together, making sure that I get everything that I want inside the paper clip. And I have a template that I made just on a piece of cardboard. So the way I have my holes marked in here is that it's not in the center. It's actually, the center holes are towards closer to the top holes than they are to the bottom holes, and that just kind of helps me to keep everything together and make sure that I've got the right side up for everything, so I don't sew my signatures in upside down. It really helps that way. And then I've got this line here, which make sure you can see it. So I've got a line here and a line here, and that is for the top and the bottom of my signature, and then the outside is for the top and the bottom of the journal cover. That way I make sure that I have everything all lined up. And I'm just going to mark it with a pencil because sometimes it's a little bit hard to see the center. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink the center fold. And then that way I should be able to see it through the holes of my template, and then it'll be a little bit easier to match up, to mark. Okay, so I can clearly see the marking from the ink. So I'm just going to mark it like that. I'm going to mark it. And I'll do this on all three signatures. Then I'm going to take my awl or poke tool or whatever tool you have, and it helps to kind of hold it in a V shape so that you know you're going through the center of all the papers. Let's start with this one because this one's the hardest to see. And I'm just using the phone book as a cushion. Okay, so that goes through there, and through there. All right, so I'll sew in one signature, and I'm going to measure 3 times the height of my signature. And I'm just using baker's twine that I picked up at the dollar store. It has a kind of a silver color to it, which I thought went well with the tie. And I also need to mark, obviously, this. So, should have actually had this together on here, but that's okay. We can do it now. Okay, very good. Now on the cover itself, I have already cut the holes. And I'm going to start at the one that will be closest to the back. I'm going to start in the center from the inside. This is called a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Go all the way through to the back. I'm going to go up to the top, and you want to leave a tail inside there. Sometimes it helps to pull it all the way through. Okay. And then from here, you go down to the bottom hole, again making sure that you leave this tail. Like so. And then you go back in through the middle hole. And you try to, you want to try to not actually go through the string that you've already done. You want to go next to it. So that you're going to end up having, see this one went right through that string, so I want to make sure that I pull it off. You want to end up having a tail on either side of this center string, like that. And then you just tie it in a knot or two. You want to pull it sort of tight, but not so tight that it tears the paper. And then you can trim it. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this in a knot, and then that'll keep the string, because this baker twine has a tendency to want to fray. So it can fray all it wants to now. It's not going to go past the knot. Okay, so that's the first signature in, and I'll be right back after I finish the other two. I forgot to mention on the other one, I'm not putting it in this side. I'm putting it in this side. This is the bigger side of the accordion fold, and then this is the fold that will actually be inserted and sewn into the journal cover. So when you're putting your signatures in, and you're using this accordion shape from the paper bag, make sure you put it in the right one. It's the one in back. Before I poke the holes for this one though, in this particular signature cover, I want to put this little guy. And the way I'm going to do this one is very basically the same way I've done the other ones, except like I'm just eyeballing it. You're also going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, 3 times the height, 2, 3. Okay, go through the center, go through the top, and go through the bottom, and then back through the center. And again, you want the tails on either side of that center string, and then tie it down. Okay, so for the spine, I was thinking about taking some of these leaves and gluing them on, just for a little bit of added interest, and I think I'm going to do that. So these leaves came from a garage sale. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac to do that, and cut off their little wiry things, because I don't need those. The stems, I guess, the little wiry things. Let's call them stems. So if you have garage sales in your area or estate sales, in my opinion, estate sales are the best. I have found fabric, things like these pretty leaves, different papers, journals, that people have written in ledgers. Absolutely really good good items for junk journals. And you don't have to worry about it because the people are getting rid of this stuff. And sometimes you can even ask them, you know, for things that most people would just throw away. Like, for example, old ledgers with, you know, stuff written in them. You know, they a lot of times think that nobody would want that stuff. But guess what? We do. So just keep your eyes open, you know, for deals like that. If you're just starting out and wondering, well, where do I find stuff? Estate sales. If you're on Facebook and you're on the marketplace, just check the marketplace for estate sales near you. A lot of times, families will hire people specifically to manage their estate sales. So all they want to do is get rid of stuff and get out of there. But it's kind of funny. My daughter was over one day a few months ago, and we were sitting in my craft room, and she just looked around. She goes, "You can never die, Mom, because I have no idea what to do with any of this stuff." I said, don't worry about it. Just put it on the marketplace, calling all crafters. Oh, I'm loving the way these leaves are going on here. I love this, you guys. Okay, look, I'm going to recap a little bit here. So just so you know what this was all made out of, I'm just going to kind of give you the origin of everything. So this was a Kleenex box. I cut out a template for the opening and then took another piece of cardboard and made a little frame. This picture, can you see her? There we go. This picture of that little gal, she was the random picture inside of a frame that I had laying around. Let's see, old dictionary page, napkin, leaves from estate sales. The tie came from a chindi rug, which I have a series of videos on that. Covered the back with more dictionary page and napkin. And then inside we have book pages. These are from grocery bags and more of the chindi. So the tags even were made from the Kleenex box, from the flaps. I can find all the little pockets. And we're done. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed this series. I sure had fun doing it. This is just such a fun project. I think I've probably said that a million times, but it just really is fun. And who doesn't have Kleenex boxes and grocery bags and old book pages? But if you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. Please watch the rest of the series if you're just tuning in. And it's called Boxes, Bags, and Book Pages. It's really something that's back to basics for people who are starting out, maybe don't have a lot of supplies yet. So have a great day, everybody. Let the serendipity find you. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Love to have you. And I'll catch you in my next video, and we'll start working on the Music Lovers Journal out of the pianola roll. So have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.